Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. Outcast is the name. Let's do this. Today I'm going to be showing you why, in my opinion, Styanax is goated. Now, if you're like me, mid is what I would describe myself as on Warframe. You're probably doing fine damage. Everyone will tell you the best weapons. You know, I'm using a Tenet Envoy. I will show you my builds at the end. They're, you know, they're guide followed, but not, you know, they're not the cleanest. I'm using ribbons just because I want to, and I play solely for fun. There's no stress. Like, the biggest thing I would say is Warframe for me is a no stress game. I'm not here to break no records, I'm just having fun. So I can output damage in the millions, as
life support on the way.
You'll probably see I'm using the Angstrum, which I have put the Incarnate adapter on. If you're unsure how to do that, I'm sure I can bring out videos in the future explaining how to get each thing that you see me use for anyone that is interested in knowing these things. However, again, the builds aren't, you know, they're not top tier, but I'm no longer a new player, and for people like me, I think the content lacks, where I'm not ready yet to do 6-hour steel path runs, as I have all the damage output I need, but survivability is the problem. And if you're struggling with survivability, then Styanax is the Warframe for you, because using one augment mod, Intrepid Stand, you can probably build a no forma Styanax that realistically you shouldn't die. Alright, I'm not gonna go as far as saying you won't die, because there's benefits, and I'll get into some of them now. And that is long runs, survivals, exterminates, high level enemies. He's great. As you can see in the top right, I've got 12,000 overguard. I also apply overguard to my allies, so if you're playing in a friend group, he's great. He's perfect. However, he's easy to play, that's another benefit. And, you know, I've got Mirage Eclipse on him. Does not affect the strength of his Intrepid Stand, so it won't give me any more overguard, but it increases damage, which, when you've got a frame that can't die, all you need to worry about then is the damage output. Now, as I said, he's not all praise. I will say there are some negatives, and some of those are on less intensive missions. He just doesn't really do it, because you don't get enough enemies for that overguard to stack, and therefore his kit is okay. He's not terrible. You're never going to regret playing him. But there's definitely a better use to him the more hectic the mission you're running is. I find him extremely fun to play. Basically, press 4 and turn your brain off. Like, it is that simple. Now, the Tenet Envoy, honestly, it's just a fun weapon to use. It's not top tier. I do prefer other weapons, but I'm really enjoying at the minute using my Angstrum, and the Angstrum, in my opinion, is DPS level now. So to be honest, I use the Tenet Envoy as a primer, just to get bleeds and slash, and then go to work with the Angstrum. On an arbitration like this, it's easy to rack up rewards, it's easy to get your different item sculptures, you get plenty of Vitus Essence, and I'm just pressing 4 and chilling. I'm, you know, no stress, no, go into your operator and bounce 4 times to get special abilities. I'm not end game, but if you're looking for a guide on how to progress, maybe you know you're not new to the game anymore, but hitting that end game level is still a little bit of a reach, then these are going to be the sort of videos for you, as I'm going to be breaking down lots of no former builds, whether it's weapons, warframes, all that. And if that's what you're looking for, just how to have fun on this game, how to progress, what you should be spending time on, what to worry about, what not to worry about. We've all seen it. Don't use this, don't use that, this is trash. That's not true, guys. If you're endgame and you're trying to do a 10-hour survival on the steel path against level capped enemies, then yeah, there probably is warframes that you don't want to be touching, or warframes that you want to be predominantly using, if I can get my words out, just to make your life easier. But if you're like me and you're playing for fun, and you know, I'm mastery rank 19, I'm by no means new to the game, but I'm a long way off end game in my opinion, then some of these guides aren't going to be for you. And if that's where you find use in my videos, then that's great. And like I said, guys, I will show all my builds after this, but as you can see, I've got 32,000 overguard. There is no fear of dying. You could use any weapon you want with this, and yeah, just have fun. What I will stress is I will be doing no former builds. However, these are not no former builds, these have been formed. This is what I'm currently using as my main frame. It's what I'm using as my main weapons, bar the Tenet Envoy. But obviously, to max the Tenet Envoy, you have to former it 5 times. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh yeah, all of this that I'm using now is no format. But if you're unsure on how that works, then basically you max a weapon. You can purchase former from the market, or you can get blueprints for it by opening relics. And once you've maxed the weapon, you can simply apply former, polarize a slot, and go from there. You will have to re-level the weapon up, and then any mod you put in that slot that matches the polarity of it will take half the thing, essentially, take half the charge of your mod capacity. If you're still unsure on what this is, then leave it in the comments and I can make a video at a later date. But for now, I will show you the builds. So guys, here is my Styanax build. It is a 4 former build. I'm using corrosive projection to reduce enemy armor. My strength is at 322% thanks to Blind Rage, Augur Secrets, Umbral Intensify, Transient Fortitude, and then I am using Augur Message just for the duration, because that increases the amount of javelins that I throw, which increases overguard rate. Intrepid Stand obviously is the key to this whole build. Primed Flow just for the energy, as his recent nerf meant that he caps out at 68,000 overguard, I believe. So you don't need a strength only build anymore, you know, which has made him slightly more universal to use. Aviator, just because when he's in the air you have reduced damage, which obviously his 4th ability means that he will not take hits as much, which is great. Arcane Energize for the energy pickup. Everyone should be using this. However, if you don't have this, That's perfectly understandable as it's very expensive. You could use many other options: arcane acceleration for the crit chance, Aegis for if your shields are damaged. There's lots of things you can use. I use energize personally, and molt augmented is great as well as it stacks 250 times, so it increases your ability strength substantially. That is him. Now this is my Tenet Envoy build. As you can see, very simple build. I'm running it internal bleeding as I proc impact quite high anyway. This will add slash, which will add bleeds, which is great, just as I'm using it as a weapon to prime and to increase my damage output of my secondary weapon. Vigilante supplies, just to make sure I can make use of the ammo, as it is a low ammo in my opinion. Not as bad as the Tsar now, but 8/16 isn't great. Just a Riven, it's nothing special. You could swap that with Serration. You could swap it with Stormbringer to keep the electricity for the corrosive. It really is up to you. And that's pretty much it. Galvanized chamber and aptitude for the multi-shot and the status effect. Well, the status chance. Again, very easy build. Primary merciless. On a kill, plus 30 damage for 4 seconds. Stacks up to 12 times. That's self-explanatory for damage output. Now, onto the Angstrum. So, this is my Angstrum. Now, the Angstrum is a 6-former build. I have put a lot of effort into this. As you can see, corrosive again, very high damage. Very nice ribbon on it, which you don't need. You know, you can put Hornet Strike and you're going to get pretty much the same damage output. It's not vital, but it's nice that I've got it. Convulsion for the corrosive, Scorch for the blast damage, for the heat, sorry, and the blast damage increase. Lethal Torrent for fire rate and multi-shot. Prime Pistol Gambit for crit chance. Prime Target Cracker for crit damage. Barrel Diffusion for multi-shot. And Galvanized Shot for status chance. And then Pistol Ammo Mutation, so that we can make the most of the ammo drops. As again, 3/18 is not great. However, with my Incarnate Adapter, it's much more viable because you very rarely run out of ammo. Cascadia Flare on heat status effect, 12% damage, stacks up to 480% damage. That is vital on this build, as you will proc heat both from the build I'm using and from the Incarnate form. The Incarnate form has innate heat, so Cascadia Flare is a no-brainer. I won't get into my pet or my melee in this video, as I didn't really use them and they are fairly irrelevant to what this was. But this is, if you just want to have fun and you're not sure where you are, then don't forget to like and subscribe and stick around, and hopefully I can bring you guys a lot more content in the future. This has been my Styanax build. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.